All right, in our last video, we went through discovering that opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. So in example 2, we are given that quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. So now we know that means opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are congruent. So what is the value of x? Well, if we go to the picture, let's mark what we know. We know opposite sides are parallel, but it's the congruent piece that's going to help us out here. We know opposite sides are congruent. So QP will be congruent to RS, and then QR will be congruent to PS. Find the value of x. So to find the value of x, we just need to set up an equation that we know is true that uses x so that we can solve for x. We have two options. We could set this side equal to this side, or we could set this side equal to this side. So I tend to find the path of least resistance, which one looks easier to me. I think using the 4x looks easier. There's just less terms. So we have our 4x is equal to 5x minus 3. We knew that those opposite sides would be congruent, so we set them equal to each other. Let's solve for x. I'm going to subtract 5x to get it. Your x's on the same side. 4x minus 5x is a negative 1x, or negative x. That is a negative 3 we're going to carry down. So if you know that negative x is equal to negative 3, that means that positive x is equal to positive 3. You can also get that positive 3 by dividing both sides by a negative 1. So part B, what is the length of each side of PQRS? Well, now that we know that x is, now that we know what x is, it's just a matter of plugging it back in. So we've got side PQ, that's equal to 4 times x, so let's plug in a 3. So PQ is equal to 12. Well, we know that PQ is the same length as RS, because opposite sides are congruent, and we know those are both equal to 12. So we've just identified two sides of our parallelogram. Now let's take a look at QR is equal to 7 times x minus 3. So let's plug in a 3 for our x. 7 times 3 minus 3. Order of operations, we would do 7 times 3 first, which is 21, and 21 minus 3 is 18. So we know that QR is equal to the opposite side, PS, and those are both going to have the same length of 18. And now we've got all 4 sides of our parallelogram.